You ready for the sizzle?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Yeah, she ready for the sizzle. All right, man.
Talk Weekly. Subscribe on all social media and podcast platforms. And if you want to support us even further, be sure to like, comment, and share. All right, Blac Chyna. She is opening up about illegal injections that she had as a teen and what led to her reversing her cosmetic surgeries. So Blac Chyna, whose real name is Angela White, she sat down with Access Hollywood and talked about her spiritual awakening. Blac Chyna broke down the illegal silicone butt injections that she had at 19 and how they were performed by somebody who wasn't licensed. So she explained, this is a regular person that's doing it. They're giving whatever substance that they're doing and giving it to you. They're not going to tell you, hey, you could possibly die. She also added that her rear end would get really, really hard and inflamed and really hot, which scared her. Well, Blac Chyna shared that her plastic surgeon spent 8 hours removing over 1,200 cubic centimeters of silicone from her behind, which is the equivalent of a 2-liter Coke bottle. So she says she lost 10 pounds from the surgery and also had her fillers removed from her lips. But Blac Chyna says she has changed her life and letting God use her. She has joined a list of female celebrities like Cardi B and K. Michelle who have warned women about the harmful, life-threatening effects of plastic surgery. So shout out to her. That's huge to be able to do that and say like, hey, especially when you're walking around and some people were saying like, oh, she's getting money, the money that she's made from her assets and, she's had that stuff removed and she's sharing this with her followers. And
I love it.
She looks happy.
Not only do she look happy, she looks beautiful.
Yes.
I mean, the Sizzle sent me a couple pictures, but I had to find a couple pictures just to show you what I'm talking about, right? So I want you to look at this, all right?
Yeah.
I want you to look at this, all right? Now look at this.
Gorgeous.
Beautiful.
Gorgeous. Yeah.
She looks amazing. Mm-hmm. She was on Tamron Hall.
Yeah, she was.
This is her on Tamron Hall.
Mm-hmm.
She looks amazing.
Yeah, it doesn't even look like the same person.
Gosh. It looked like she got work done.
Right. Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
In contrast, right? She had all that stuff. It looked like she got work done and looked better. She actually took away all that stuff. Mm-hmm. And this is her natural.
Yeah.
She looks beautiful.
Yeah. And I was thinking that too. It did look like she had like more professional work done. Because it's like when she started off getting work done, it was illegal. Like
professional.
Yeah.
Shots fired at the first one.
Yeah. Well, she I know. All right, I'm gonna leave that alone because then I can't make that no better.
Yeah, she might have took Rihanna's place. I don't know.
Nah.
Wait.
Nah.
Wait, hold on.
Nah. You seriously?
Nah, see, this is the thing. I like the idea that if you listen to how she's talking, like she found God. Like, well, she could be Hollywooding, but just being positive, she found God. She looks beautiful, and she's saying that she's taking accountability of the things that she did, and she said that. I listened to a little bit of Tamron Hall, and I just was like, wow, that's great. Like, I just felt good for it. Like, I was just like, congrats. Like, you know what I mean? It's, to find yourself, especially in Hollywood, that's hard. You get caught in that whole kind of Hollywood-ish stuff, right? Especially around your peers, because you want to keep up with that. But for her to finally distance herself, nobody take Rihanna, please just say.
I was
But,
about to say,
nah,
you
nobody
trading
picked me
you
up. Nah.
trading in your boo?
Nah, nobody
For
picked me
real?
up. She just married
It
now,
must be.
so that's what I mean.
I was about to say, do this have anything to do with the husband and 2 kids?
Yes.
No.
Yeah, I think it has everything to do.
I think that's
I
what
gotta,
it is.
I gotta give him his. I gotta
what it
give
is.
him his
You
space.
backing off?
Yeah, I gotta give him
Backing
his
off.
space. I gotta give him his space.
So you gonna yield on over
I gotta
Blac
find.
Chyna?
Hey, I gotta find somebody else. You know.
You gotta find
to be-
somebody
what
else.
you call it? The fanboy over. But no. But kudos to. She don't even call herself Blac Chyna no more, right?
She wants to go by Angela White,
Right.
and people don't even know that's her real name.
Angela White.
Yeah. No doubt.
So her mom gave herself Tokyo after they called her China. I don't know.
What?
I just
Her
realized
mom name
that.
is Tokyo. So I'm like, was that like, I don't know. I always thought it was Blac Chyna because her mom's name was Tokyo. I was like, oh, that's cute.
I ain't
They
even
did
put
the
the two
Tokyo.
together.
and
Her
the
mom's
China.
real name is Tokyo?
I don't know. That's why I was asking.
I think it's.
Y'all can't just be throwing this stuff at me.
Yeah.
Y'all know I ain't.
Stacey
No,
like,
no, I ain't
right? What you talking?
All right. Well, Creed 3 actor Jonathan Majors, he was arrested on assault charges stemming from an alleged incident with his girlfriend. So NYPD reports that there was a call to an apartment in Manhattan for a domestic dispute. Police said a 30-year-old woman was suffering from minor head and neck injuries. The victim told police she had been assaulted. I believe an ambulance arrived with the police at the same time, so she was taken to the hospital. Jonathan Majors was taken into custody and shortly thereafter released. His attorney released a statement saying, "We are quickly gathering and presenting evidence to the district attorney with the expectation that all charges will be dropped imminently. This evidence includes video footage from the vehicle where the episode took place, witness testimony from the driver and others who both saw and heard the episode, and most importantly, 2 written statements from the woman recanting these allegations. All the evidence proves that Mr. Majors is entirely innocent and did not assault her whatsoever." So, I was just baffled how quickly the turnaround time on this evidence is. No trial, no nothing, but they already got their receipts. So the text messages were exposed, and the woman is texting him saying, "Please let me know you're okay when you get this. They assured me that you won't be charged. They said they had to arrest you as protocol when they saw the injuries on me, and they knew we had a fight. I am so angry that they did, and I'm sorry you're in this position. We'll make sure nothing happens about this. I told them it was my fault for trying to grab your phone. I only just got out of the hospital. Just call me when you're out. I love you." So she sent another text maybe a couple hours later, and she said, "They just called me again to check on me, and I reiterated how this was not an attack, and they do not have my blessing on any charges being placed. I read the paper they gave me about the strangulation, and I said point blank, this did not occur and should be removed immediately. The judge is definitely going to be told this. She ensured this to me. I know you have the best team and there's nothing to worry about, and I just want you to know that I'm doing all I can on my end. I also said to tell the judge to know that the origin of the call was to do with me collapsing and passing out, I'm sorry, I'm trying to read this. It's really small. And your worry as my partner due to our communication prior. Out of care, she promised all will be relayed." So, Jonathan Major has had roles in Creed 3 alongside Michael B. Jordan, The Last Black Man in San Francisco, Netflix, The Harder They Fall, and Marvel's Ant-Man, the Wasp, Quantumanium. He also presented, which was really cute, presented an award at the past 95th Oscars, where he and Michael B. Jordan gave Auntie Angela Angela Bassett her flowers.
Yeah.
So people are saying like, oh, he stands to lose so much.
And he has already.
Because people are already pulling out of.
So
They
bad,
pulled
man. The Army.
Army.
Yes.
What were you about to say?
No, it's just so it's disgusting to me that literally an accusation. First of all, if I'm not mistaken, he called the cops.
Yeah, I was about to say, what part did I miss?
No, you ain't miss anything.
I'm like, how?
You didn't miss anything. He called the cops.
Yeah.
They turned around and took him.
Yeah, they were saying that when he got there, when they got there, she was saying, oh, well, he did this to me because she called on him.
And
he called on her, and then when they got there, she's like, oh. Well,
here's another thing that legally that they do. So when a woman makes an accusation like that and then she recants it, the state can pick it up.
Absolutely.
And they do.
For battered woman syndrome,
They do.
what it is that there was once a woman who recanted her statement for her abusive ex-husband, and she pulled all the charges back, and then he killed her. He was still abusing her, and because mentally you're all messed up, you're saying this not sometimes out of frightenness, but out of mental illness. That's why they passed the law that regardless if you recant your statement, then now the state has to pick it up. So all that stuff she's saying don't mean nothing. Now he has to go in front of the courts, and it's now the state against him after she pulls her name. It's not her against him.
And that's why I said, what did I miss? So when the police arrived, did she say all these things?
Well, it sounds like she.
Because how did they get all this information?
From she sent text messages. I guess they took her away to the hospital. So from the hospital, she's like texting him, I just got out the hospital or whatever, and like she must have been communicating with his people or something like that, and communicating with him and his attorney.
But she's saying something about a police report that had something on about her being strangled. She's like, I told them that didn't happen. So how did they get the information to begin with? Who told them that it did happen for them to write it down?
She did.
Okay, so
now she's recanting her statement. She's basically I think they were in a cab. She thought there was another woman texting her. She grabbed the phone. She got crazy. He called the police to protect himself. The police shows up. Even if it's verbal statement, she's like, oh, he did this, this, and this. Yeah, and then when she realized what she did, which probably was a lie, now she's recanting her story. And it doesn't matter. They're going to pick it up. The state of wherever it occurred in, and now it's the state versus him.
And this is why I have a problem with women.
And not to mention, and someone are going to say, you're going to say it.
Yeah, I was like not wanting to say that because I left it out. Like, she's a white woman, and she's not a woman. You know, she's not a black woman. She's a white woman.
And not saying that it doesn't
happen.
This
situation has nothing to do with color.
I think it does.
You think so?
I really, and when I say it with color, it's just like what we talked about with the shooting. When things happen, the way of how it's perceived by the eyes of America, it's different. One, yes, we're black women in general, we go through abusive relationships, but when it's a black woman, it's not as prevalent as it is with the history of Emmett Till and so forth and all of this of a white woman lying on a black man. And that's just their choice of when they reach a certain level in I see your hair go back. Go ahead, see. Go ahead. Maybe
no, because I disagree.
Because now you want to pick and choose what lies they tell. Women, when it comes to women and men, women do it all the time. How many men out here got kids they believe is theirs when it's really not, because the women be lying. Listen, these women be doing a lot of stuff that's just crazy.
Trust me, I know exactly what women do. I can say what they do and they don't. I'm not
and that don't have no color on it.
But I do say that
we ain't gonna say everything is about color. We're not gonna do that with every situation.
I'm saying, to me, in my opinion, coming from me, I feel as though when the media makes certain things look certain ways, and even if when our brothers choose certain ways, that's what I just said when I preferenced
the media make stuff look however they want to make it.
Yeah, and as her being a white woman,
the reality is all women do it.
All women don't do it. A lot of women do it, but all women means that's 100%.
Well, no, not all women, but I'm just saying. What I'm saying is, a lot of these accusations that have been made, a lot of lies that have been told on men, it is not all from one culture of women.
Not at all. That's why I mentioned that.
It's not one culture of women that's doing this.
That law came up because of the battered women syndrome, and there was no color on it. I gave a different comment on her being a white woman and how the media and how people are going to put color on this situation. So no matter which way you look at it.
So I see that side. However, I believe now it's a little different. Back then, maybe. Now, not so much. Because of this whole cancel culture, identity kind of claiming situation that we're in right now, that the world is in right now. Literally, it's don't blame the victim, right? Literally is believe the victim if they say something, and that has been amplified, right?
Okay.
And so by way of a woman, any woman at this point, to Stacey's point, it don't matter what color you are. Like a woman can literally say, he did X, Y, and Z to me, and it's over.
And they're gonna yield to the woman.
And I'm not negating or refuting that. That's not my debate. We're all saying the same thing, but I'm saying that the way that this 100%. This isn't Johnny Depp going against what his woman and him. It was looked at because that's a white couple.
Yeah, you're talking about how the media spins things.
Media, Americans, it's going to be looked at in a different eye based on him being a black man, her being a white woman, and her making accusations that weren't true. Tends to what I said about Emmett Till. That's it.
Yeah, 100%.
Well, they did say that. Well, I don't know how. She is white, so I don't know if the neck injuries were visible, or they just took her word for it. But if they were visible, then.
And I'm also just a preference. I don't know if he did it.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
We don't know.
You don't know. I don't know if he put his hands. I'm not even taking up for him.
Right.
I'm just saying on.
But then you have some I watched the bloggers too because I want to know what they got to say about it too. And there was a black male blogger, I'm not going to name any names, but he said basically this is what you get for black actors who date outside their race.
Not just actors, because the athletes be getting it too.
Athletes too. But he's like, this is what you get.
But see, you said outside their race. That's what I'm saying. People are looking at it as a black and white thing. Now, if it was a black man and a black woman, would that blogger have made that comment? No.
I would have made that comment.
He said out of his race.
I know.
You can't say it if you hate in your race.
True.
But people are going to look at it to say, and domestic violence has no color, just like a bullet has no. You know what I'm saying? Like,
and that's true. That's
the statistics are higher with black women.
And then he also talked about how the media wants to cancel black men who have money, and talking about and I'm not talking about guilty or not guilty, but they were running down names like Bill Cosby and regardless of guilt or not.
Don't say Eric.
Nah, they definitely left him out.
No, you're right. You're right, and I think he's right. But just what's frustrating to me is that it's so lopsided. It's so lopsided, and to the point of something that you said in battered women syndrome, which is so outdated. But you know how many black men get battered on every day, every day, but they can't even say anything by way of their peers calling them, "Oh, you a simp, don't." You know what I mean? Don't you supposed to be tough enough to utilize it? Like you can get beat up. Then you got the women. Oh, you're not man enough to take this. I'm a girl. You can't.
Yeah. I mean, that blogger did say that he should have just, because he's so much bigger and this is a woman, he should have just took it on the chin. That's what the blogger said.
My son was getting scratched up by his girlfriend. His sister was like, "Mom, this is getting out of hand." I told her mother and her off and was ready for it because he wasn't going to do nothing. He didn't put his hands on her. I'm because I guess that's how he was raised, and also to what your point of saying you're a simp and stuff. You don't have to worry because soon as I found out, Just like I would want that man to stick up for me in regards to my brothers, like, yo, you're not gonna put your hands on my sister is what I did. But you're right, it's definitely a double standard when it happens and bad men go through that.
That's right.
And they don't have the resources.
And you know who can, this whole culture, you know who can stop this or start being more of an advocate? Black women.
Yeah.
Black women, and I gotta give Stacey flowers with this, because for the most part,
y'all know me.
She get it
all the time.
She get it, and a lot of times I grip my teeth because I'm like, if I was to say something, it's so lopsided. But the only people who can stop this nonsense is black women.
Well, there's some black women out there that's just like, look, you chose that.
Nah, but see, that's not. But that no, but to a degree, I get that though, because I don't want to take that away. Because for me, I'm like, why is so many black women out there? Why would? But okay, one can say you love who you love, all right, but that's not the conversation, right? But what I will say is, just how black women are hard on men when it comes to protect these sisters, and men need to be holding their friends accountable. It's the same thing with y'all.
Agreed.
Same thing with y'all. So that's why I never say just men, just women. It's the community. We talk weekly. We have to do this thing together.
I'm a feminist, and I love women. I'm a woman, and I love lifting women up and encouraging women, and inspiring them and motivating them, and that whole sisterhood and camaraderie, right? But right is right and wrong is wrong. You know what I mean? And it doesn't matter that I am a part of this species, but I know, I see too much, and a lot of it is just not fair. You know what I mean? And I don't like it. I don't feel like it's fair. And a lot of times, because we are women, because we are mothers, because we are, when it comes to law enforcement or the judicial system, they yield to us, and it's like, okay, because what it is, protecting the woman and the children. But one of the things for all these celebrities and all of these black men with money, like you said, Lauren, please understand that when you get to a certain status and you become a certain thing, that some of that drama and some of that toxicity that you're associated with, you got to kind of leave it behind, because one little thing could snatch your whole career away. You know what I'm saying? So, and you got these women out here that are jealous and vindictive, and I'm gonna say this just because because you pissed her off, and now 2 seconds later she in love again, but you done messed up his whole world. Now he ain't. You just blew up something for what? Like, because you in your feelings. Like, women, man up. That's what I'm gonna say to y'all.
Oh gosh, they're gonna come at your neck. Feminists gonna come at your neck.
Because you got to put your feelings aside and just grow up at some point. You can't treat every situation like that. Yeah, we be in our feelings. Our feelings is hurt, but you can't tear another person down because your feelings are hurt.
Yeah, put your big girl panties on. All right, the Celebrity Sizzle Award of the week goes to the Major League Baseball MLB 2023 The Show. They have brought new storylines modes to its video games, with season 1 featuring the Negro Leagues. The Negro League storylines are a tribute to baseball legends like Jackie Robinson, Hank Thompson, Leroy Page, and 4 others. The MLB The Show has been around since 2006, but this year they partnered with the San Diego studio and the Negro Leagues Baseball Museum. So MLB The Show Negro Leagues will allow players to play their favorite teams with real players from the past and the present. According to MLB The Show, users will experience an entertaining narrative journey through short informational videos, followed by gameplay reflecting important moments in the player's career. So the Negro Leagues Museum Baseball president Bob Kendrick, who is working to preserve the legacy of the Negro Leagues, will be narrating the videos. And Bob Kendrick said, for the Negro Leagues Baseball Museum, this is all about creating relevancy. How do I with the ever-changing generation of young people. I can't sit back and wait for them to come to me at the doors of the museum. I have to get them in the mode of which they are getting information. If it's a video game, then so be it. So kudos to this amazing partnership for incorporating a Black history informational vibe to gaming. So this is just awesome.
Nice.
The level of racism that's spewed through online gaming is astronomical. So it's great to see some inclusivity and positivity in this. And I can attest to that, like literally, because I've heard my son on the games and he's been called the N-word. I even had a conversation with him where he has I don't know, he gonna be mad at me putting his business out, but he has a white friend that he plays the game with. Online, they get on there and you know, they know each other. They kind of, I guess, get in a group to play games together. But the white friend, my son claims, is affectionately calling him the N-word. I have a huge problem with that.
My ninja, what's up, my ninja? No,
Yeah.
they trying to slide it in. And
That's what I'm telling him, and I'm like, if he's saying it angrily, you know, angry at other players that are Black, but he's saying it nicely to you because you're his friend on the game. How is that? I said, what? He's like, no, mom, he don't mean it like that. He's cool. No, he's not.
No, he should be like, no, don't use that. Don't use that.
Yeah, exactly. I said, if he does not see a problem with it, calling you that affectionately, then that's not your friend.
He'll get it. He'll grow.
I know. I'm off my soapbox.
No, it's all right to be on your soapbox.
I'm your girl, Lauren Sizzle, and that was the Sizzle.
And that was the Sizzle, ladies and gentlemen. I'm your boy, Charles Gregory, the beautiful.
Lauren Sizzle.
And the beautiful.
Classy Lady
And the
Sparkle.
beautiful.
Lady Estizzle.
And this is We Talk Weeklies After the Talk on WPP MLP Philadelphia 106.5 FM. We Talk Weeklies After the Talk. And we got about 9 minutes left. Good show. We have to, you know, something else that Miss Cass said, the intentionality of things. We got to be intentional when it comes to what we're saying. It's no being passive aggressive about it. It's what's right is right, what's wrong is wrong. And be willing to take, you know, or have those uncomfortable conversations to say that, all right, well, I don't like this and this is the reason because, you know, if you constantly just be a yes man, or in contrast, no, I don't want to hear nothing. You know, you're wrong. You can't get anywhere. Can't get anywhere. You have to have the uncomfortable conversations to move forward in your thinking, whether you agree or not. But you can't not have a conversation to move forward. You're constantly will be running in place.
Perspective and understanding.
Everything.
Because even if you don't agree, it's like to try to see someone else's perspective. You know what I mean? Because culturally, it is what it is. Like certain people, you know, I worked at CHOP. I was a program director there. And there was things that they had to teach us that when we had like Muslims come in, they didn't want men doctors or hugging everyone. You just can't treat everybody the way you want to be treated. You know how they say, oh, treat others like the way you want to be treated? No. Culturally, you can't do that. So you have to, you know, get an understanding and get teaching about what perspectives are from a cultural, from, you know, community understanding to see where that person is coming from. And like you said, see if you just agree to disagree, then that's all right too. But definitely to get an understanding is what the walk away is or the takeaway.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, so we got to do better. We have to do better. There's no question about it. And we have to hold each other accountable. Like, it's all right to, you don't have to be mean or nasty about it. If you see one of your friends or someone that's doing some things that you feel isn't on the agenda of being positive, so to speak, then it's all right to be like, oh, like that was a little, or like, how can we do something different? It's a way to say it, you know. I think people have this thing with being unapologetically blunt sometimes, and everyone is different. Some people can take that, some people can't. So you have to, is a term called fill the room. Fill out the room.
I was about to just say know your audience.
Yeah,
Yep, I was
know
about
your
to say
audience.
that.
Yeah. And so if someone is saying that what you're doing is being a little too harsh, you suppose, okay, you need to be able to pivot a little bit. Okay, so this is what I mean. I apologize for that. So let me walk you through how I'm feeling then. You know, some people can be like, yo, I don't like that. Stop. Yeah, you right. I'm gonna stop. Right. Everyone isn't the same, and everyone doesn't respond the same. And so know your audience and understand that everyone isn't a monolith, and people are different. So you have to address them differently. The screw won't fit every screw, right? It won't fit.
And the things that people are doing everybody's not doing it for the same reason. So like, even when you just said, if you see somebody doing something, and it's the way you say it to them, I mean, they could be doing it simply because they don't know any better. That's right. Or they could be doing it because it's like, listen, I had a bad day. I lost myself for a minute. You right. I'm tripping. You know what I mean? Right. So it is definitely worth pulling your brother and then the sister in the side and say, hey, even just checking on them, because you don't know what they may be going through or why they did, you know. So, you know, have that conversation and the compassion, you know what I mean? And, you know, check on people and are you okay? And like they say, check on your strong friends, you know what I mean? Because you never know what people are going through.
Yeah. It's something that they use. It's called grace. Give people some grace. Some people, no one is perfect. The only perfect person is God, you know. So is when you think of perfection, that's the only thing that's perfect, right? So people make mistakes, right? And so if they apologize, if they come to you, whatever, allow them that space to, you know, apologize. Some people just like, no. Some people just literally, you know, sometimes need a space to say, you know what, I made a mistake. I'm sorry. I apologize, right? But what's happening is people are making these mistakes. Even our white counterparts slip of the tongue, right? Sometimes you gotta say, all right, well, what was the situation there, right? Have you ever heard them say that before? You know, and process what's going on. Sometimes it's just a mistake, and I get it. Everyone isn't perfect, and allow people to have that space to be apologetic to you if they make those mistakes. Yeah, and